found. Create a free pledge manager for your project.
Hey, everybody. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Jello.
Hey, I'm Mike Delisio.
What? Copycat.
That's
right.
trademarked.
All right, folks. Welcome to Crowdsurfing, where we take a look at all the projects on Kickstarter and eventually possibly on other projects. Yeah, that's not true. We took a look at many of the projects on Kickstarter. If you think the projects we look at are bad, think about the ones I didn't put on.
Yeah. Looking at some of these, I'm really wondering what didn't make the cut, Tom.
So we're doing everything that ends in the next 9 days or so. We'll talk about those projects. So we're just going to talk about them and give you our opinions on them.
Okay.
I think this week there is a lot of, objectively, there's a lot of huge projects for sure.
Yes.
I also think there's a lot of cool projects that are on. I think I may be alone amongst the three of us, but don't care. Let's start with the hottest one of all, Dangerous.
Dangerous.
100%
See me coming.
funded.
I'm dangerous.
Here's the thing with this one. I actually like the look of this game. That's why I put it on the list. Other than I don't like the cover. You never see them take a picture of a guy standing with their back to the camera looking over their shoulder.
That's not a good. Yeah, that they need to get rid of that pose. That's really, really not good.
But I mean, the rest of the artwork and the colors, not that picture, but the rest of it, I liked how it looked.
I agree. I like the look of it. I like the theme is weird, and the look of it is neat. I watched the how to play video.
Yeah.
I'm digging the vibe here. I don't know if the game's gonna. I know how to play now, pretty much. It's a very simple game. I don't know if it's a good game. I can't tell. Like if it's gonna be kind of a neat little game, or if it's going to feel clunky. I'd have to play it. Obviously, I don't know that. But it looks neat, and I'd try this. I don't know if I would back it, but I'd try it.
Right, yeah.
I'm actually surprised it's so low.
Yeah.
I think the look of it is not helping, but yeah, it has this kind of quirky little card game feel that a lot of the Japanese games. It kind of gave me a vibe of maybe some of the Oink games or maybe even the Sashi games a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I definitely would play it.
All right, it's funny that you say that, Mike, because I think the look is helping.
Really?
Yeah, I think the look is kind of like the main thing it's got going for it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I like the theme. I like the idea of these different, you don't know which kind of event is going to be coming, this kind of apocalyptic thing. I think that's kind of cool. And I guess the art has kind of a classic, almost an anime look to it. So maybe it's just a personal thing.
It is.
All right, jumping to one of the big Kickstarters, almost 250,000. Thunderstone Quest, The Enemies Among Us. They just put Among Us in there to get all the buzz off of that popular video game right now. You are backing this if you own Thunderstone Quest. And if you don't own the Thunderstone Quest, you're not. It's just, that's how this is. It's more cards, more stuff.
But that's my question. I think Thunderstone Quest is a fine game, but are you backing it just to be a completionist, or you really need more Thunderstone Quest? That really is my question. I mean, there's already thousands of cards. I mean,
well, for me, Mike, backing this one, I back it because I only back for the new stuff, right? I did this just the quest thing, right?
Right.
But I play Epic Thunderstone.
Yeah.
So we don't play with thousands of cards. We play with dozens of cards. So a few more cards is cool. However, I'm also wasting a lot of the cards I buy. They don't make epic packs that you can buy. So that's problematic. The other thing is for me, I like this a lot. I love Thunderstone. Like I said, I'm getting this. I can't tell the difference from one campaign to the next.
Okay.
Darkness Rising, Miracell's Return. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's a cool picture, I guess. But if you said, which one is that? Like, I was looking at the old expansions going through here thinking, I don't remember what any of these are. Yeah. I mean, if you showed me the cards, but I wouldn't know which one was in which set.
Right. I like the idea. Isn't this Mirror Cell's Return one? Isn't the idea of it that she basically takes control of what were heroes before, and now you're fighting against heroes? Did I understand that correct?
Oh, you know what? And they did that in a previous game, in Thunderstone Advance. So okay. I did like that. Hey, look, they're still using our review.
Yeah.
Days ago. Alrighty. The biggest Kickstarter we're looking at this week.
$8 million.
That's a lot of moolah, man. Wow.
$8 million.
Now, as we talk about this, do realize that our show is slightly sponsored by Rathskeller's Games, and we use Rathskeller tables. So that bias may creep in here or not. I like Wormwood dice towers. I think they make the highest quality dice tower in the market. Not the cheapest, but the highest quality. These tables look good. I mean, I'm not going to say crazy if they don't look good, but I don't know that I see anything here that looks different other than the quality. These look like they're a higher quality.
Maybe. There seem to be a couple of innovations. Go ahead, Z. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say that, there's no denying these guys are good woodworkers. You know what I mean? They're clearly craftsmen. And, most of these table projects, I think you were going to say, Mike, is that they kind of live or die by the accessories.
Right.
Like those little accoutrements that you add on to the table. A table's a table is a table. What they add on is kind of what differentiates it for me. Right. They got some neat looking stuff in here. There's no denying that.
Yeah, they do. But it's not cheap. It is absolutely not cheap. But I will say a little shout out to their video. I really actually got a kick out of their video. It's hard to pull off one that where they're poking a bit of fun at themselves a little bit, and they've got a lighthearted tone. It's really easy to mess that up. And I thought that they did a really good job of not only introducing their products, but making it entertaining to watch too. So I just wanted to mention, I think they did a really good job on that.
Yeah, it's a very good video. One of the best videos this whole week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these tables are not too pricey comparatively. I mean, you pick the most expensive wood for the biggest table. You know, if you want to buy the counter like 36-inch Purple Heart table. But the other tables are not that bad, especially if you compare them to a good dining room table.
Yeah. My biggest issue with board game table Kickstarters is that weight. And it's not unique to Wormwood here, but it's just so hard to put that kind of money down, and you've got over a year to wait for your table. That's tough.
Oh, I didn't even see the weight on these.
They've got different build dates.
But wow, you're right. Some of these say 22 on them. Oh, right. And that's not including Kickstarter delays. All right.
Yeah.
Acropolis, a solo and cooperative farm building game. This is the sequel to Acropolis and can be combined with Acropolis.
Well, you're a huge solo player, Tom, so tell us about this.
Well, this here is another 18-card game. So you can go buy his cards from his website. You can just go buy a pack. But if you Kickstart it, you get it for a much cheaper price. It's 16 if you go there. It's 10. That's not bad for a little game like this. No. And, they put my Seal of Excellence here. That's cool. Also, though, I'm excited that there's this way to combine them.
The Combopolis?
Combopolis.
Yeah, that's great. That's
great.
You
use one scoring card from each game, and then I think a card from the Combopolis expansion.
Correct.
And I like that. That's neat. So that's like you're getting, if you already own Acropolis, I'm getting 2 games if I buy this. And while I normally don't combine games because it's a lot of work, to combine 2 18-card games is less work.
Right. And they're so clearly easily delineated between the two. You know, obviously the color scheme, just in and of itself, you'll be not difficult to differentiate the cards. I'm happy that this is coming because I did like Sprawlopolis quite a bit. I'm very hit and miss with the Button Shy games. Some of them I don't think are quite make the mark, but I did think that Sprawlopolis was one of the best, definitely in the upper echelon. I like the idea of this quite a bit.
I still want to play Tussie Mussy.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
We have it here. And then they should have we have it where?
Well, it fell behind the desk. No, somewhere around here.
You have it there, I want to play it. If you have it there, I want to play it. And then I want them to come up with a sequel and then
combine it.
combine it with Tussie Mussy and the follow-up in Combiney Mussy or something.
I heard that there was some Tussie Mussy related, not about the game, but some of the same theme was in that new Sherlock Holmes sister movie. What I can't remember the name of it.
Elena or something Holmes.
Yeah,
yes.
Apparently that had something to do with the theme of that movie. That's what I heard. I still haven't watched it.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right, hack. All right. Now, I love this one. Look at this right now before you guys start hacking. Look, it needs $8,198, and it's at $8,196. Come on! Really give this man $2. Come on.
Almost fun.
Yeah.
You think it's fun? Do you think it'll fun while we're watching? What are the odds?
Well, all right.
I want to keep an eye on this. By the time we move on from this, it will be funded. I'm calling it right. Okay.
But there's only 33 backers.
There's about to be 34, baby. Having said that, I do not recommend you back it. I think it looks terrible. It
looks awful. I know that, you know, I try not to kind of pick on passion projects, but there's so much about this that is off-putting to me. My favorite thing, though, if I have to just say one thing, is, Tom, if you can just quickly go to the risks and challenges. Risks and challenges. I do not have any risk when launching this project. Oh, that's cool. No risk at all. That's fantastic. Here's my money. Yeah, no. I just... It just doesn't look good.
I'm not hating on it as much as these guys are. I like the idea of the wires connecting different sides.
It just looks so terrible.
It really does.
The whole it comes in a collector's tin. It's like, no, come on. It's just a tin. You got it cheaply. It's not a collector's tin. And everything just, the video is terrible, but whatever. It just, the whole thing looks... I don't know. I feel like you, Mike, where I don't want to pick on people's passion project, but if this is your passion project, get better passions.
Right. I mean, the graphic design on those cards are, to me, just awful. It just looks like a mess.
I guess I don't understand when you really, really have the need to share this with someone. I doubt this guy's making a lot of money on this, you know?
Right.
He just really wants to share this with people. I guess I understand that aspect of it, but
the math isn't making sense here.
Right. There's 33 backers. How is there $8,000?
This is a money laundering scheme. I see. Got it. Hack your local bank.
That's about $250. That's $250 a backer.
Right. That's why I pointed that out at the beginning, because it just didn't make sense.
Got it. All right, let's move on. Hidden Strike American Revolution. So this is from Worthington Games. They have a Kickstarter project almost every month at this point, it feels like.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how that's allowed. I thought you were supposed to deliver your last project, or at least deliver part of it, before you started a new one.
Yeah, I don't know, honestly.
We all know Kickstarter enforces their rules. But the thing that I thought was interesting about this one, it's another war-style game, right, with blocks and things. But apparently you can have a trader in it. And I don't know that I've ever seen that in a war game before.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool. It looks good. These guys are... Again, like you said, they've got a lot of experience, and they're putting out a lot of these war games. The graphic design, it seems to be getting better, consistently better. This is pretty good graphic designs, good illustrations. You know, it looks tight.
This is the first of these war type games where, when I was kind of just reading through the how to play, I felt like, oh, okay, I kind of see how that works. You know, you have the small, medium, and large troops. You're basically discarding cards to upgrade a troop. It doesn't seem to be, you know, a series of spreadsheets, and that's fine for the people that like those types of games. Don't get me wrong. They just don't generally appeal to me. This looks like one that I would play.
This is very interesting, the designer. So one of the designers, Dorian Richard, I don't know much about her, although I don't know any female war game designers. So that's cool. And then this other guy, Maurice Suckling, has worked on a lot of big name video games.
Yeah.
Borderlands, Civ 6, Wii Fit. That's weird that you worked on. We fit sold a lot, Z.
It did.
I own 2 copies. I'm backing this. I don't care what anybody says.
What, you put 1 foot on each when you're playing?
Don't judge me, Tom, okay? You do not judge me. Not when we're looking at Mr. Suckling.
That's all this show is about. All right. I'm at a loss here.
This video was ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Yes.
It reminds me... This video reminds me of this commercial that they have on Hulu or someplace with a lady spraying scent in her kitchen and having like a blast doing that. You know, it's very attractive fit, middle-aged woman. And they cut to a lady in like an old outdated shirt, bad hair, like she's just got no makeup. She's like, it's so bad. This is what this makes me. I hate that commercial, by the way. I'm like, really? Sure. Come on. This
what I love...
They're all wearing glasses. The commentary is, you're a dummy if you're wearing glasses. You like bad stuff. That's old. When they cut to now with the cool new game, nobody's wearing glasses. She's got the cool haircut.
The guy's hair disappears. He looks like an old rocker here, right?
He does.
And then when you look at him later on, there he is, like he's a businessman on casual day.
The fact that they're all wearing glasses in the bad version of this is uncool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it's made almost $250,000.
Yeah.
It looks like Trivial Pursuit with an app. I mean, it's fine.
Looks
over that that DVD one. What was that called?
You don't know Jack or the Jackbox. I mean, that's what this reminds me of a bit.
Yeah, I get it.
This is like a board game Jackbox.
Right. And the thing is, there's obviously a market for this type of thing. I think that's why it's doing well. I think people like the idea of trivia games. And what this one is pushing is that they can put things that are like right of the moment. Like in the video, they showed a question about the coronavirus, which I'm not so sure. I think that's a great idea. But I think that's one of the things they're pushing is that you can have questions that are being constantly updated. And so one of the big things with Trivial Pursuit is you've got these cards, and once you've seen them, you're kind of over it. But I don't know. The whole thing felt really almost cynical to me. It struck me as we're very just like super marketing, just like we're going to throw every marketing trick in the book at you. And
I
see
think
what
so.
sticks.
They must be using good marketing though, because they got a lot of people backing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is doing really well.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know I'm gonna end up playing this at some point because
you backed it.
My main takeaways, besides the thing that I hate about what they're doing, is 2 things. The first one is that the gameplay still looks pretty terrible. It looks like Trivial Pursuit meets Cranium. You have to do the different categories, then go to the center and do another one. Like the game still looks bad, right?
Right.
But also this whole after we have your money, we will definitely keep updating this. Is such baloney.
Yeah.
Like, come on. No. How many times does this have to happen on Kickstarter for people to be like, I'm going to get what I'm going to get. And once they have my money, I'm sure I can buy extra packs.
Oh, yeah.
Want more money.
They're going to
They're not going to update the questions. Come on.
No.
They're not putting in extra
I think
effort
they'll
for
do
no
it for
money.
a little bit, Z. I think they'll do it for a little bit, and that will be it.
So they sell out the first print run, and then they're done. It would be stupid to keep doing it. They're not making any more money.
Right.
I don't know. Point is, I'm backing it.
All right. Perthro. This one, the video looked like they stepped off the set of that show on Netflix.
Vikings,
I know. Vikings, funny Viking show. It did. It's great.
Even
this guy, I think this guy was in it. He looks like straight up like an extra in that show.
It's really good cosplay.
It is.
Really good. It doesn't look like, it's like the very opposite of the video we just watched.
Right.
This looks good. Mm-hmm. And then they show you this really boring abstract looking game. And like, oh man,
Yeah.
Vikings did when they were bored.
No wonder they were always raiding and pillaging. If their choice was to raid or to play this game, I mean, it's a clear choice.
Yeah, this game looks very much like there's a lot of games out there that go for style over substance.
Right.
It's just style through and through.
Sure.
This kind of looks like it might have come from that time period, right? It's got that look. It's got the runes. It's got the leather bag with the string. It screams flavor and sort of immersion. Right. The gameplay looks like a weaker, Yahtzee. Yes, that's what it looks like. But I don't hate this. I think there's no deception here. You know exactly what you're getting.
Exactly. That's true. That's very true.
They don't promise that they're going to update it after you own it. Like, oh, yeah, we're going to update the dice.
All right. Let's move to the next one. All right. Shark. These people, they had their video made by the Cartoon Network, apparently.
No. Cartoon Network has people that actually can tell a joke. This was some of the worst forced humor. You remember how I said earlier that it's really hard to pull off a video where you're trying to be humorous? I'm sorry, this really landed. You want to talk about jumping the shark? This one did within 5 seconds.
All right.
Oh man, that video just didn't land.
Video. Okay, so here's for me. When I was going through the project, looking at it, I thought this looks like fun. It looks like something I'd like to play with kids. And then I watched that video and I thought, I'm less interested now.
Yeah, it's kids being eaten, and then you play cards to make them barf up the child that you could then eat. I mean, that
whole barfing thing was really.
Yeah.
Yeah. After I saw the video and I looked at all the images, the thing that came to mind for me was, this is like those exploding kittens games, but at least it's not a card game. At least it's tile laying. You know what? They get a little bit of credit for that. Because it seems like every other game that is that whole, like, you want stupid koalas barfing in each other's faces? You got it. And now the not safe for work koala.
Right.
At least those games are always card games. At least this is a tile game. And in fact, there's one game coming up later on, which is also in that family of games, which again tries to do something a little bit different.
Yeah.
I think I still might try and play this. I like the art. I think this might be good for kids. It might not be as stupid as you're saying.
Maybe. I don't know. I just had a visceral reaction to I watched the video first. That's what I've been doing.
You vomited. Yeah.
No, I didn't, but
I can't even see cartoon vomit.
Just something about this game really rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know exactly why, but it just doesn't do it for me. I'm sure that there are plenty of people. I will say that I think that the art is very well done. It's not particularly my style of art, but it's well done. It's consistent. It looks professional. The project looks professional. The price is fair. So I mean, it's not all negative, but I just don't have any interest in this game at all.
Oh man, this was my Christmas gift to you.
It's also from a company called Loud Cats, which is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, also it's 111% funded.
Are they going to update that every time they cross a 1% threshold?
Speaking of which, let's check on Hack. No, it hasn't funded yet.
Oh, we'll be back.
All right. Reckless Deck Psyche. Another huge project that's made almost 200,000.
This is really interesting.
Not a board game, I think, but it was interesting enough that I took a look at it.
Yeah, this is more like character creation deck. And it's, I started watching and I was like, oh, this is stupid. This is going to be for RPGs or whatever. But the more they got spoke, the more it was like, oh, okay, this is just general writing and character building stuff. Like he was talking about, given circumstances, you're super objective. And I'm like, oh, so, acting training. That's
right.
I've heard this stuff. I'm familiar with it. So this is actually really cool. The more I watched of it, the more I was like, you know what? I'm digging it. This is good.
Yeah, that's so funny. I was the same way. I'm not interested in it as a product at all, just because I'm not a big RPGer. I'm not planning on writing stories or acting, but this I think has quite a few applications. And I think that it's well done. That video laid it all out there. I felt like I understood exactly what the product was. Yeah. I think it's nice looking. I think the price is fair. I think this is a neat game adjacent product.
I do like that they have when they're showing you these different things you can get. They're sold out, so they grayed out. You can't even look at it.
Right. No, look away.
Don't worry about it. It's sold out.
That's right. You can't have it.
Yeah, I gotta say, this looks better than I expected by quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. All right, then we have Kingdom, which is doing pretty well for not having a video or almost any information that helped me on the main page.
I don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's an RPG system. Maybe?
I think it's an RPG, yeah, where like you build a world and then try to keep it going or tear it up.
I was confused. I didn't know if it was a board game, but I put it on the list because it's making $31,000. So the only thing I think of is that first edition people showed up.
That's exactly it. I think this is strictly being marketed to the people that already know what Kingdom is, because if you don't,
people though.
Yeah, because it doesn't tell you anything.
I agree. I was so confused by this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, folks, we got some more projects to look at in just a bit. Some of them quite large, but let's take a break and talk with our contributors.
Hey, board gamers, BJ from Board Game Gumbo here, back with another episode of Crowdsurfing Lineup. That's right, I'm bringing you projects that won't break your budget, but throw in a little something extra. Here's what I'm checking out this week. Studies in Sorcery is a brand new game from Weird Giraffe Games out on Kickstarter right now. It's designed by Skele, plays up to 4 people, and fits right into that 1 hour wonder space that we love here at the Gumbo. If you're a fan of Weird Giraffe Games, you probably have already got your eye on this, but if you're like me and you're into engine building and drafting games, you should really check this one out. Note, I played the game with prototype components. The final artwork will be revealed during the Kickstarter campaign. Imagine wizards sent to college to bone up on their studies. That's the premise. And the artwork actually created by the designer carries that bright but dark theme to the hilt. Quick overview. Players will take turns drafting project cards representing their upper level classes. But to complete those projects, players are going to have to scavenge about for ingredients. That's where the dark comes in. It's all tongue-in-cheek though. It's never gory, and after 4 semesters have passed, the game will end. The engine building part, it comes in knowing which projects to get. Do you go for the ones with easier ingredients to find, or for more points, or for those special one-time or game-length powers that can really help you finish valedictorian in your class? Those are the delicious decisions you will face. Plus, there's a little bit of lanyap. Carla from Weird Giraffe Games is working on a free expansion if they meet some of the social media goals. Hey, so that's Studies in Sorcery out on Kickstarter right now. It's a thematic little engine builder in a nice size package. Out of all the Weird Giraffe games I've played so far, this has been my favorite. Until next time, laissez le bon temps rouler.
Hey folks, welcome back to another Dice Tower preview recap. I'm Mark, and today we've only got one game to look at. It's a little pocket game, and we're going to be traveling to the Old West in King of the West. King of the West is a Weird West themed area control card game. Now, there are 3 different sets of characters which will be available at launch, and this is a pocket game. So one set can be played as a 2 to 3 player 18 card area control game. And this is really the main game, but multiple sets will allow you to play up to 9 players with modified rules and variants. Now, for the setup, for the main game, you will take the 9 building cards and randomly place them in a 3x3 grid to make up the town. Now, on the back of these cards will be an icon represented by your character. You will turn the cards with your icon towards you in this north, south, east, west positioning around the town. Now, since they are played randomly, the location of these target buildings will be different in every game. So, on your turn, you can take up to 3 actions. You can claim a building, you can move, and shoot out. Shootouts are how you remove opponents from buildings you want. Now, you do this by trying to get into your opponent's head and outthink them using the nuanced rock, paper, scissors combat system in the game. The game ends when either a player starts their turn controlling all 3 target locations, or they are the only player controlling any buildings in the town. So this is a little pocket game, which means of course it plays really fast, and there's all kinds of variations to the gameplay. you actually have variable player powers that you can use. And in all the different modes, you've got like a team game you can play if you have multiple packs. You have a non-player elimination mode, and you've got like just your area control standard game. So there's lots of different ways to experience this. And again, the portability of it just in your pocket is pretty handy. Well, since we only had the one game to look at, let's tease a couple for later in the week. The Kirby's took a look at Ambush Epic, a dungeon crawl. So look for that one coming later this week, as well as Race Kart Riot. I took a look at this one and think Mario Kart, but on a board game. So some interesting things coming up, and keep an eye on October in general, because there's lots of new things coming. All right, folks, if you want any more information about any of the games that we mentioned here, please go check out our full previews. And if you want your game featured as a Dice Tower preview, please shoot me an email. All right, folks, until next time, we'll see you at the table.
Let's jump feet first into another huge Kickstarter project, The Thing, the board game. This says the official board game inspired by 1982 movie The Thing. So the one that came out a few years ago from a different company that
Not
also
official.
called itself official, that was a lie.
It was a lie.
That is weird. What was that called? Outpost 31 or whatever? Outpost
Yeah.
13 or whatever.
And then there's
Yeah.
also the one that was made that was based on the story.
Who
not the
goes
movie.
there? Or...
Who goes there? And
Yeah.
all three of these games look very similar. In fact, I compared the map for this one with the Outpost one because so I guess this must actually be what that looked like.
I guess so, yeah.
The station, yeah, I suppose, yeah.
And so I actually don't like the other two games that much. So I'm hoping this is the one that does it. It's from Pendragon, and I believe Pendragon is run by the people who did War of the Ring. They did this game called Last Aurora, which is just being fulfilled now. I haven't seen it. I don't know anything about it.
Looks cool. I like that. I like the look of that. Post-apocalyptic. You speaking my language.
That's right.
Yeah, well, this one also looks good.
Yeah, this one has more of a vibe of maybe an actual board game, where the other ones I felt were leaning more into the trader aspect, and they were almost more like Battlestar Galactica type experiences, where this one feels more like a resource management type of a thing, and maybe more of a traditional board game.
Yeah, I'm getting real Dead of Winter vibes from this.
Yeah.
It looks good, especially for fans of the movie. It's funny how many of these, pretty old IPs are now coming back. They're like, everything old is cool again. I don't know. It's weird. We recently had one.
Designers too, though. I'm telling you, I feel like this one has the best chance of the three.
Yeah, it's the official one.
I can see that. It's right. It's the only official one.
That's how you know.
That's how you. All right, another big Kickstarter. There's so many of them. This one's Apogee, I think.
Apogee.
Apogee, a new space tale. This has a different look than most board games.
Yes,
it's
a
like
bad
a
look.
Bill Eklund game.
An unfinished look, you mean?
No, it's a different look, I would say.
Is.
Yeah.
It is,
One of those like we draw our Kickstarter backers but not well look. Yeah, it's a different thing.
Oh my word. It looks like a spreadsheet. It looks very, very Euro-y. Like you look at this game, you're like, yeah. But again, it's made 100,000. What else have these guys made?
Let's see.
Light Hunters, Blood Flowers, Ephemeris, and Light Hunters again. I have never seen or heard of any of those.
Yeah, really, like not at all. Huh.
No, I was trying to keep up with what this game was doing, and it seemed like it was relatively straightforward. And then all of a sudden, it started looking like it was talking about thrust levels, and it was for the first part of it, it was looking like it was very abstracted, like space was just a theme. But then in other parts, it looks like they're really trying to kind of lean into that science thing. So I really just don't have a good sense for what this game is about. I mean, I know it looks like you can play it already on Tabletopia, but I just don't have a good sense for what this game is.
I like the theme a lot, so I want it to be good. I'm just worried because I don't dislike the look as much as Z does, but it does feel like the mechanisms are poking out through the game. the way it looks, if that makes sense. It looks like, well, it looks like that game I played Saturday where we said the same thing, Mike, where I'm just looking at this and you can see the mechanisms in the game.
Absolutely. Right.
I actually I don't dislike the whole look. I think whoever does their graphic design, I really like their style. You can tell from the rest of their covers.
Yeah.
It's clearly like the same person who is very good at that kind of graphic design. Very clean, very minimalistic. It's just when you get to the people that I don't like. I don't like
Really?
this style of illustration.
This doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Han Solo's in the game. All right, Bots Up, the bot battling game.
This is the opposite of what we just looked at. Very cute, great artwork, consistent artwork. There is nothing under the hood.
No.
This
it's all
looks,
take that.
Build a robot game. There's a lot of these out there.
Yeah, but none of them sound this take that lame. You know what I mean?
They do. I played more Build a Robot game than both of you put together.
Tom, I'd beg to differ, but I don't beg.
Card playing expert.
These power play cards that they're talking about to me are indicative of what this game is, which is basically get one of these cards and just break the game so you win, or it feels like it's and look, this is just for a particular market that is not me. It's probably fine for kids that kind of like that theme and don't mind the take that aspect of it. But it really, really is, like Z said, I just don't think there's a lot under the hood here.
I don't know. I feel like kids. Look, there's a kid there talking about.
This might be a kid's game. At that point, then you got to just be quiet and be, because otherwise you're rude.
I totally understand that, but don't you think this might be too mean? I don't know. I don't like kids. I'm never near them. Forget kids. My point is, you know kids, both of you. You've been around them. You know what they look like. I don't know. Would this not be more too mean for these children you speak of?
Probably.
Great.
All right. Hogs of War, the miniature game.
Now we're talking. Now
game that has $100,000+ This is a war game. Apparently, it's based on a video game. Hogs of War.
A PlayStation 1 video game, apparently.
Really?
Yes. Me too.
I missed that one back in the day, I guess.
Yes.
I like how this looks. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of when Kuman made that little chibi World War I game. What was that called?
Heroes of Normandy?
No. It was there's no chibis in Heroes of Normandy.
It's all chibis. What game are you talking about?
Well, if I could remember, I would have said.
I know. It's a.
What's the game called, Tom? No, I don't know. I have no idea. This looks to me like Memoir. This looks like Memoir 44, but with piggies and like the weird thing is, it doesn't look light. It does not look silly. No. It just has a silly theme. But this looks like there's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, this looks good to me.
Does it?
I'm in. Yeah, like this looks good. Good. Let's go. I'm about to unleash some big fury on you.
Got a good chance of me being in on this project.
But
it also looks
wild.
like war game.
Look at that. Yeah. That looks great with a tile laying. Yeah.
Oh, Rivet Wars. That's the name of it. Rivet Wars.
Oh, yeah. That does have that same look, doesn't it?
So this is a reprint of Rivet Wars?
No, it just looks like it.
That's what Tom said. It's a reprint. You heard it here first. This is a reprint, folks.
This is the official Rivet Wars. The other one wasn't official.
Oh, my word. We did not say that. All right. Now we have another big Kickstarter project, Machina Arcana to Eternity, which is actually a sequel to their last one. And this is another, I don't want to say Gloomhaven wannabe, but in that, it's that dungeon with everything in it.
Yeah.
I'm getting really exhausted just looking at these projects these days, I got to say.
Right.
Well, I guess you're not exhausted
like,
if it's your only game.
Right, but come on. Nobody's backing this, and it's their only game. That person doesn't exist in this planet. This is... I love the look. This is so grimdark. This is so terrifying and spooky and insane and crazy and so much stuff.
Yeah, it's just so much. It's a 3-hour game time apparently. And that, if they're telling you it's 3 hours, you know it's probably what, 4.5. Yeah, it's just, I'm kind of with you. I've got a little bit of massive project fatigue going on here. I mean,
I'm sure this is a fine game for people who like it. It's just that, is there anyone out there who goes, you know what we should do? Something different. Let's do a grim, dark dungeon crawl. People are like, what? That's unique.
Right.
Even looking at these cards, if you show me one of these cards, I would say, oh yeah, I played that game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you took everything else out. Maybe not the monsters, but if you show me like these cards with the actions on them, I'd sit there and go, yeah, I played that. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
You know what, though? We say this, and I think we all believe that. This idea that, okay, yeah, let's put out a grimdark dungeon crawl. That'll be unique. But go up to the top of the page, and let's see how much it's making. That is its own argument right there. $400,000.
Also, I'm going to play this game.
Right. It's a huge risk to put out something that is different, that is unique, because you do something like this and you're competent and it looks good. I mean, make no mistake, the game looks fantastic. And it's promising a tremendous amount of content. You're pretty much writing yourself a check there if you do things right. And it looks like they're doing things right, but
you don't even have to do things right. That's the problem,
that's true.
Mike.
Yeah,
you don't. They just have to look right.
Yeah, but okay. At the end of the day, I'm sure this one is probably a really good game, though. Otherwise,
it might be, yeah, but
the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what. This is something a lot of people might not like, but I actually like. They're using Cthulhu mythos.
Yeah.
They're not making up their own mythos. This is Cthulhu. They have fire vampires and Cthulhu and the whole shebang. I like that better than them coming up with their own thing.
That's actually Cthulhu, but isn't called Cthulhu.
Right.
Yeah, because it's gonna be the same stuff. They're just making up their own names. So I dig that. I like that.
Yeah.
So this is, I think, an expansion for the base game. The base game is only $60. So it's
not bad.
That's not bad at all. $60, and they said every card has different artwork on it. So
that's quite reasonable, actually. Yeah.
I don't want people to think I don't want to bag on this too hard. I would like to see some more non-grim dark fantasy stuff.
Nah.
All right. Well, this is the very opposite of grim dark. The Night Parade of 100 Yoki. I thought Yokai. Sorry, I thought the artwork in this one was very distinctively different than other games.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting very much a Root vibe with those meeples, and I love the Root meeples, and so I don't know if this is a game that I would necessarily enjoy, but I do find myself being charmed by the art, the style. I don't know. I would certainly give this a try. It looks like an abstract to me more than anything else, but I don't know. I'm surprisingly interested in trying this.
I'm not surprisingly. I think it looks really good.
Yeah.
I think it looks really good. They don't talk about the game too much. I guess I could have read the rule book, but this is from the same guy who did Dwarves, the Dwarves Fall.
Yeah, that whole series.
No, the guy who did the artist of that. He didn't do it doesn't say he designed it.
It says game designer / artist.
Never mind. I read that as game designer / artist of the series.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I assume it's the same guy who did both of those things. But so yeah, I mean it looks neat. I don't know too much about it. I definitely would be very happy to play this. I like the look. It looks looks neat.
Yeah.
All right, then we have another very different looking game. This is another dungeon crawl type game, but this one has the art for this one is, I don't know, I like it. This has a different feel to it.
It reminds me a little bit. Yeah.
It looks old without looking
dated.
Dated is, I guess so. That's a good way to put it. It's tricky to vocalize what I mean, but yeah, it kind of looks like the sort of artwork people don't draw anymore.
It reminds me a little bit of that Fantastica. You remember that game Fantastica?
Yes.
It almost has a little bit of that.
Artwork. This is not quite that.
Right. But it almost has that feel to it to me.
I hope the game is good because I like how the cards look. It doesn't look like there's too much text on it.
Mm-hmm.
This is not necessarily grimdark. It's like just normal fantasy, right?
It's just fantasy, yeah. See, this to me says passion project.
Right.
This is mushroom heads.
This is actually, there's passion here. You can tell, and it's a project. It's not something somebody came up with in an afternoon. This I can respect. I really like the look of this.
Yeah.
What about the pile of rats?
I'm in like Flynn.
Double them. I want 2 of those cards.
Oh wow, they got a quote from Jerry Hawthorne. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Cool. All right. Yep. We're not done yet. The 7th Citadel, the second biggest project we're looking at today. This is the sequel to 7th Continent, and they're very seriously telling us that it's very different. And I went through and looked at it and read it, and it looks really similar.
It looks exactly the same to me.
Well, it's this one. In 7th Continent, it was a pulp fiction. You were on a deserted island, and fantasy peeked out of you in corners. You know, like, is there a monster? I don't know if there's a monster. In this one, you don't wonder.
Yeah, I guess like, if you're talking theme, that's not what I was getting at. What I was getting at was mechanisms. I mean, it looks to me like 7th. It looks like, why aren't they just calling this 7th Continent? Because that's already got such a huge name recognition and popularity. And 7th Continent is already basically a modular game. I mean, you play through each curse once. Why aren't these just new curses? That's what I don't get. And that, I'm sure that's just from ignorance. I haven't done a lot of research, but this to me just looks like a new set of curses.
I like how it looks, but I love 7th Continent. So, I mean, there's that. They also have a book of dialogues, which is the new thing, I think, to put in games. We just had one of those. I tend to like these books, though, because they allow you to keep a lot of secret stuff.
Right.
Yeah. And it's interesting here. Like, for example, the way you talk to people, different things will happen.
Yeah.
You want to be authoritative, diplomatic, or jokester?
Hey!
Rado said that he didn't like it as much because there was more fighting, but I like fighting, so I don't know that I'm opposed to that. And this little Destiny thing here looks cool. This looks not so much like a different game. It just looks like a 1.5 version of 7th Continent.
Yeah, that was the one part that did stand out to me that looked a little different. Is kind of this checking off things on a paper to get new, items or skills and things like that. That was a little twist. But it also still has those tiny numbers on tiny cards type of a thing. So that's never my favorite as an old man with old eyes. I know it came with a little magnifying glass, but meh.
Well, you know what?
I think anybody watching this, anybody who looked at this already knows whether they want it or. I mean, there's no guessing here. You know what I mean? You like the original. This is more. You're gonna get it probably, unless you are not a hoarder. Right. Or you don't like the original one. This is not, I think, gonna change anyone's mind.
Now, I'm not trying to be too negative on this, although I know I am being.
Smack it down.
This is mostly cards, right?
That's
Look at the fulfillment date on this.
Yeah, but it's design.
I get that, but
Mike.
at least
May of 2022.
I understand that, but I'll tell you this: they said that when they did the first one, they also gave a very long project time. They really did. I remember hearing about it years before it came out. But I don't care if they say May 2022 if that's when they plan to fulfill it.
I suppose.
I'd rather them do that than say, it's coming out next month, but then it's a year later.
I get it, but it just seems to me like if it still needs over a year's worth of development, are you comfortable giving him your money? To me, that's a.
Yeah, but they've proven it. They did deliver on all their other ones.
It's not an unknown. That's true.
Back and forget. That's my rule.
All right.
Also, I'm backing and forgetting Lucky Luau.
Luau. What is wrong with you?
What did I say?
Lucky Luau.
Wow.
Sorry, I got caught up in it. You know what this one actually made me think of when I first saw it? As it being made fun of? No, it made me think of Tussie Mussy, but with Hawaiian flowers. It almost had that.
You can combine them. Luau.
Like
this is the original Tussie Mussy.
Just like the flowers scored points basically on other flowers. That just reminded me of Tussie Mussy. But I think this looks really nice.
I think this is a truth in advertising game. They're telling you exactly what it is. Yeah. They're not trying to make it anything that it's not. They're saying it's a very simple card game. And Z brought up Sushi Go. They brought up Sushi Go as it's a similar type of a thing. You're just laying out cards and they have to, continue on from the next. And it's all about, what card is next to another card. Very simple, light game, but I think it could be,
I'd play this in a heartbeat.
Sure. Yeah. It's cute.
Easy.
Yeah. It is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it would be in the running for my pick of the week, but there's many, many games this week.
Nah.
All right. Not in
like
my pick of the week is Pets Gone Shady, the card game. This is the one that Z was talking about earlier when you talk about this is lazy design.
This is the exploding kittens, whatever kind of game, except this is a deduction. This is a deduction game behind that. So this is Clue, not safe for work.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to like scroll by here. All right, let's just go to the next one. Garbage, but it made 20,000, so I had to look at it.
It looks terrible. Yes.
It does look terrible.
All right, the last one. Last week, Z and I had Steph Hodge join us for our top 10, and she had a gaming calendar. So here you are if you want to back it. Still has 9 days to go. I've always enjoyed Steph's picture taking. I think it looks good. I especially like in this one the multiple pictures per calendar.
The collages are nice. Yeah.
This is really nice. I backed it. It looks good. Yeah.
I like it.
I could say.
Yeah, this one's easy. You can take a look at it and get yourself a board game. I mean, you can take a look at the pictures and know if you like it. Yeah.
Exactly.
There's nothing else to it.
All right, let's check out Hack real quick.
Come on.
Yes!
Hack, baby.
Sucker gave it $2. And I'll have you notice, that's not a new backer. Somebody just went back in and added $2.
More Hack.
This definitely seems so shady. So very shady, this project.
All right. So before we jump to our picks of the week, here's the AirLoft Jacket, which is making $281,000.
Oh.
Get it.
Guys, I looked at this jacket for a really long time.
Hmm?
I don't know how this is any different than if I just went to the store and bought a jacket.
Are you ready to back? What's the hook?
I got burned by that last. I did back a jacket on Kickstarter. I remember, Z, if you remember that.
Oh, I remember that.
I backed a suit coat that you could put an iPad in the pocket.
I remember, buddy.
If you notice, I don't wear that suit coat. I found
I haven't seen you wear it since the day it came in, and you attempted to zipper yourself into it. I remember that.
The thing is, you're like standing like this because the iPad is pulling down on the jacket.
Terrible. It was terrible.
Anyway,
I don't get it. It's just a jacket, right?
Yeah, well, they have all these like, ooh, you can pack it. It's durability, it's organization, and versatility. And I'm like, well, yeah, but isn't this like if you went to the store and bought a jacket and you bought a quality jacket, shouldn't that have all the same stuff?
But Tom, this has sleeve articulation, this jacket. Did you notice that?
I guess how much you think it is? I didn't look at that. Guess.
I would guess. I'm guessing this is
80.
Yeah, $79 to $89.
I'm gonna say 120 then.
Okay.
Oh!
Whoa! What?
Got you. Close.
What on earth is making this a $200 jacket?
I think it's not fantastic. I love is the fact that it's right after winter is when you'll get this.
It's $258. You're actually saving $64 if you back it now.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm there.
I'm telling you, I know that sleeve articulation doesn't come cheap, but that's ridiculous. Wow.
Well, you can get 2 for $388. It gets cheaper the more you buy.
All right. How many backers are there? Is there more than Hack?
I'm sure there's a lot more.
No, this is a big kick. Okay, here we go. Let's just do picks of the week. I have no idea what yours is. I bet you guys know what mine is, though.
Yes.
7th place.
7th Citadel, yeah.
Yes! Although, I'll tell you what, Acropolis was really close. I really am excited about Acropolis. But come on, I love Seventh Continent so much. And this with straight up fantasy, I'm in, baby.
I'll tell you what,
I'll be in it years.
6 years from now, Tom, you're going to be really happy. That's an exciting thing for you to look forward to.
Oh, come on now.
I don't know. That just seemed like a long time. All right. Is it me or you, Z?
I guess I'll go because mine's not particularly exciting. But it looked neat, unassuming. I'm in. Lucky Luau is my pick.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you. Okay.
I like it. I like the look. I like the flowers. I like the growing a line one way or the other. Right, your adjacency is how you score. As I watched the video and then they introduced characters, that's when they got me. I was like, you know what? Okay, this is cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
This is not revolutionary. There's no pretentious nature to this. It's not like your old trivia games are stupid. This is how we do trivia.
I thought the trivia game was going to be your pick. All right, fine.
No, I like this one. This is very, this is lovely and simple, and I know what this is.
Yeah, well, Z kind of stole my thunder, not because I chose this, although this is a fine game, but I was like, in this week where there's all these massive projects, these big projects, I'm going with Acropolis because that's the game that I'm legitimately most excited about. I think that this is one where the 18 cards is not a gimmick. That actually works really well for Sprawlopolis, and I'm sure this is more of the same. I love the idea of the backside of every card as a scoring condition. It just adds so many ways to play the game. It's a great puzzle game, and I love that you're going to make this compatible. You can play it on its own or play it with Sprawlopolis, so I'm in on this one. I'm happy about it.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, well, there was quite a few big projects ending this week.
There were.
I'm assuming next week we'll be back down to dredging the bottom of the barrel, but who knows?
But more dice, I bet, because we had no dice this time, Tom.
No dice. Shocking lack of dice.
I'm sorry. Well, you never know.
Also, no gummies.
Folks, we got some live stuff coming up at 7 o'clock. Mandy and Suzanne are doing Apptastic. We have tomorrow morning board game breakfast at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. We're joined by Mr.
Pretty sure we're at the
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock Eastern Time, joined by Mr. Bonacore. That's right. I keep forgetting because he always complains how early it is.
Right. If you make it at 9, there's no way you're getting Bonacore on the show.
You're probably right.
All right.
All righty, folks. Well, until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Thank you.
I'm Mike Licio. Take care.
Have fun backing.